My husband keeps a detailed log of every night we've been married. I wasn't supposed to find it. We've been together for 6 years now, married for 3. And every single night, without fail, I fall asleep around 10:30 and he says he's coming to bed soon. But he never does. Not right away. For the longest time, I thought maybe he had insomnia. Or maybe he was watching sports highlights or playing video games. I'd wake up sometimes at 2 or 3 a.m. and he'd be there next to me, fast asleep. So I figured whatever he was doing, it wasn't a big deal. Then about 2 months ago, I noticed something weird. I went to grab my phone charger from his nightstand and found a small notebook tucked in the drawer. The kind you'd use for grocery lists or quick reminders. I almost didn't open it, but the first page was dated, the day we got married. I sat down on the edge of the bed and started reading. October 8th. She had a nightmare about her mom. Woke up crying. Held her for 20 minutes. Breathing calmed at 11:47. October 9th. Restless night. Kept kicking the blanket off. Covered her back up 4 times. Seems cold lately. October 10th. Peaceful sleep. She smiled in her sleep around midnight. Didn't want to move in case I woke her. Page after page. Every single night for 3 years. Small details I didn't even know he'd noticed. Dates I'd had nightmares. Nights I'd tossed and turned. Times I'd apparently laughed in my sleep or reached for him without waking up. March 15th, bad night. She kept whimpering. Sounded like she was scared. Rubbed her back until it stopped. Took 40 minutes. She doesn't remember, but I do. I felt my hands start shaking. This wasn't insomnia. This was something else entirely. Last week, I decided to find out what he was doing. I set my alarm to vibrate at 11:30 p.m. and kept my eyes closed when it went off. I heard him shift beside me, felt him pause. Then, slowly, he got out of bed. I waited 2 minutes. Then I opened my eyes just enough to see. He was sitting in the chair by the window, the small one I use for reading, and he was just watching me. Not in a creepy way. In the way you'd watch something you're afraid might disappear. He stayed there for 50 minutes. I timed it. Sometimes he'd pull out that notebook and write something. Other times he just sat there, completely still like he was keeping guard. At one point, I shifted in my sleep, actually rolled over, and I saw him tense, leaning forward slightly like he was ready to get up if I needed something. When he finally came back to bed, he moved so carefully, like I was made of glass. The next morning, I asked him about it. Why do you stay up after I fall asleep? He froze with his coffee cup halfway to his mouth. What do you mean? I know about the notebook. I know you sit there and watch me sleep. His face went completely red. He set his cup down and stared at the table. For a long moment, he didn't say anything. Then, quietly, when I was a kid, my little sister had seizures, nocturnal epilepsy. She'd have them in her sleep, and if no one was there to turn her on her side, she could choke. My parents didn't always wake up, so I did. Every night for 4 years, I stayed awake until I was sure she was okay. I didn't know what to say. I know you don't have seizures, he continued. I know you're fine. But that first night after we got married, I tried to fall asleep at the same time as you, and I just couldn't. I kept thinking, what if something happens and I'm not awake? What if you need me and I don't hear you? So I started staying up, just 1 hour, just to make sure you're okay. And then it became a habit, and then it became something I needed to do. He finally looked at me. His eyes were wet. I know it's weird. I know it doesn't make sense, but you're the most important thing in my life, and I can't let myself fall asleep until I know you're safe. I walked over to him and pulled his head against my chest. He wrapped his arms around my waist and just held on. That night, I stayed awake with him. We sat together in that chair by the window, my head on his shoulder, and he wrote in his notebook, November 23rd, she knows now. She stayed up with me. Best night of my life. I kissed the top of his head. And for the first time in 3 years, we fell asleep at the same time.